On the 13th of August 2022, Stephen Green broke the Guinness World Record for the longest single event triathlon.
It was 7 mile open water swim, 181 on the bike, and a 46 mile run.
It was a record that invited challenge.
I thought, if I'm doing it, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take the men's record. I'm gonna go past Stephen. They said, oh, well, you might not need to go as far because no woman's ever done it. And I was like, no. If I'm doing it, I'm going past him.
I looked at what Steve did and I thought, I do think I could do this. And I think it was when I finished my Ironman, Steve went, right, the world record's yours for the taking now, let's do it.
There's going to be times when their heads drop, there's going to be times where they might fall off the bike, they might collapse, they might fall asleep while they're actually doing the event.
I gave myself probably 6 months of training, which isn't a lot. To think that I'd never done a triathlon in my life. Had to learn how to swim in that time as well and get used to clipping myself onto a bike.
Compose yourself and ride out nice and gentle, however you feel.
We had lorries going past us at 60 miles an hour with the horns on. With just two of us cycling on a dual carriageway. It was awful. It was horrendous.
Yes. Get this bike, put it up someone.
Should I just start jogging?
My body shut off at that point. I couldn't bend my feet. It's like my ankles were solid.
I was not my normal calm self on the event and I blew up.
It's mental, Dad. Absolutely, what's happening here is ridiculous. Stick to the fucking plan.
I also know what pain they're about to go through, and I know that everything has to be bang on in the team. The fueling, the hydration, the calories, the vehicles have to be right. Everyone in the support team has got to be absolutely bang on it.
This is never ending. This is not 2 miles. Like, what is going on?
I need some for Targo.
Whoa! What was that?
Big Paul.
You enjoy the smaller moments so much more. Small bits of banter, seeing people supporting throughout the way, looking forward to the next checkpoint where you're going to have something to eat.
Stomach ain't got food.
You've got one rider and you've got 10.
Do you believe that anybody could do what you did? Why did you want to break the world record for the longest single event triathlon?
Well, I didn't.
Right, so bit of background. This is Gemma Sharples. She's the director of multiple businesses from Redcar, a seaside town in the northeast of England. Gemma works as a business coach, running a mastermind where she mentors groups of business owners, helping them with cash flow, sales, marketing, systems, anything a business needs for success. Now, Gemma's partner is Stephen Green. This is Stephen Green. He was a Royal Engineer and a PTI in the British Army, turned property developer and property trainer. Together, Stephen and Gemma created a property portfolio that gave them financial independence. They even appeared on the Channel 5 show Rich House Poor House. This is Will Davis from Leeds, who now runs his letting agency, Davis & Co. But Will used to work for Stephen and Gemma as sales team leader within their property training business. Now, at this point, you might be thinking, where on earth does a world record triathlon come into all this? Well, Stephen's passion is being a performance coach. His property training models are all based upon mindset, and he works with high-level athletes like Josh Kelly, helping him achieve the British light middleweight title in 2022. Stephen believes that all results that you get come down to belief, and if you can control your mind, you can achieve anything.
Your mind, if it's got no reference point, that's where it creates uncertainty. So if you've done some at once, you've now got a reference point. Your mind can go there. It can say, yeah, I've done this before. I just need to do X, Y, and Z, or I need to adapt. When you're about to take yourself to a new place, that's when it creates an element of fear, anxiety, because there is no reference point.
Now, he practices what he preaches, and in 2020, he broke the world record for the double Ironman, and then in 2022, he broke the Guinness World Record for the longest distance single event triathlon.
When I saw Steve break the prior official world record for the double Ironman without stopping, that was probably one of the first times where I've seen people, what Steve used to call, going beyond. You know, I've seen people do amazing things physically, but that was the first time where I thought, Jesus Christ, he's got something else up there, mentality-wise different. And so I thought, right, if he's done 2 back-to-back, I can do 1 with a year's training.
Both Gemma and Will were on the support team for Stephen on his physical events.
Who's got best stand on, Steve? Who's got best stand?
Pulling some grapes.
And they both completed their own events. Gemma running 100 miles and Will completing an Ironman. Stephen had his world record, but was seemingly eager to get rid of it.
I remember doing an event, and Ronnie was on my event, and Steve came in, and I heard them both talking. They were like, yeah, I think she can.
So he dropped the seed when I finished my Ironman. Literally, in Bolton, I was already crying from 14 hours of pain before.
And I was like, think can what? And they were like, do the world record. And I was like, don't think so.
And he said, well done, mate. Right, now it's your time to shine with the world record. That's yours.
I don't do swimming. I don't do biking. Why would I want to do that? And they were like, well, I think you can do it. So then they kind of planted the seed. I kind of shrugged it off and thought, nah, I'm not even entertaining this right now.
I was like, Jesus, okay. And he went, no. I said, you're emotional now. Give it a couple of weeks and let me know if you want to do it, and let's do it.
I encouraged them both. I told them both that the only difference between me and them was the fact that I believed and they didn't.
I'll either be proven wrong or I'll be proven right. But I'll tell you now, all 250 people in this room, he will break that world record. I'll tell you that now with 100% confidence. So only time will tell.
That would probably be the proudest achievement in my life.
Once the seed was kind of planted, I kind of thought, well, why can't I? Like, if I practice or I try, I did 100 miles with not much effort as a training. I thought, well, if I apply myself with this, what's possible? So
Wow, okay. I feel like I've flicked a switch here at sort of the mindset of what's possible.
I kind of then went, yeah, I'll take it on.
And I thought, yeah, let's have a crack at it.
What was your family's reaction?
Said I was stupid. Our mum said, are you for real? Why the hell are you doing that? And I said, well, I just want to see if it's possible. She went, you'll bloody kill yourself. She said, Andy, tell her she's not doing it. And our mum was like panicking.
So my parents were actually initially fuming. My mum thought Steve had got me to do it without me knowing.
How it came across was we got the news on Facebook. My niece actually messaged me and she went, have you seen what's happened? Steve's called Will out on Facebook. And I was like, no. What do you mean? And she sent me it and my head just fell off. I was like, what the hell does he think he's doing? He's pushing him into a corner. He's called him out on Facebook. He's going to have to do it. I can't believe that. He's just done Ironman. And we actually had a few words about it. We did actually have a few words about it because he used to cook for Steve. And I was like, no, I'm not having it.
But we were on a cruise at a gala dinner and we fell out in the middle of it and everybody were looking at us. And I says, calm down. Don't tell me to calm down.
I said, no, Mum. This has been agreed between me and him, so don't worry about it.
I actually messaged Will and I went, what's all this? And he went, oh, it's all right. He hadn't just called me out on Facebook. He actually said to me, do you want to do it? I'm challenging you to it. And as soon as I found that, I sort of calmed down a step or two when I was like, right, okay, he's okay with it.
To be totally honest, I think once they saw there's no choice, it's happening, then they just went from worried to nothing but support.
She was just like, right, well, if you're going to do it properly and make sure you train and, as mums do.
The training would break most people because it's sheer consistency. It's about being resilient. It's about being disciplined.
I gave myself probably 6 months of training, which isn't a lot to think that I'd never done a triathlon in my life. I had to learn I was swimming that time as well and get used to clipping myself onto a bike. I remember thinking, holy shit, totally, because I started the lesson and it was only an 18 metre pool and I had to just get from one side to the other with my face right in the water. And oh my God, I got to that other side and my heart rate was high as it's ever been. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't get anything. And I thought, oh, if I can't do 18 metres, how am I going to do 7.2 miles? And I remember thinking, right, I need to switch on here and really learn.
it's pretty heavy, but you want it to be heavy because you know what you're gearing up for. I'd usually work through the day. As soon as the working day is ended, it might be a 2-hour bike session. Find my mate, give him a call, go out on a 2-hour bike.
So the training built month upon month, or week upon week should I say, and it got really intense. I had to be to the point where, as part of the training program, that I was fatigued, made extremely tired because the event was going to go over 24 hours. I would be doing 2 sessions a day, maybe getting up at 4 a.m, fitting in, 3-hour bike ride before doing all the things you normally do, school runs and work and everything else, and then on the evening fitting in and maybe 2 or 3 hour run.
And it's just the sheer how much it grinds you down, the amount of time it takes out of your week. So you're training for 25-30 hours a week. What people fail to see is it's 3-4 hours driving to the lake, there's a couple of hours putting your kit on, there's washing your kit afterwards, there's washing your bike, there's preparing your bike, and it starts to turn into 40 hours plus. So that part of it's extremely difficult. The event itself is obviously shorter, it's over a 1.5 day period, but it's a 1.5 days all in a one, so it's more painful on the event, and there's probably more questions about yourself on the event. It's just how hard the preparation as well in terms of the consistency and being able to motivate yourself.
It started getting quite heavy on the weekends. We did the coast to coast, Morecambe to Bridlington. We started at 4 a.m, finished at 9 p.m. That was a 175-mile bike. So at that point, it starts getting crazy, but you're ticking off events that other people would, want to do in their lifetime. You're ticking it off in the training. It's that big where you're almost ticking off other events in itself. So it was quite fulfilling, to be totally honest.
Oh yes. Naughty that.
Got a smell of that. Success that one.
Oh yeah. That smells your house. That is actually naughty that though.
This is what you can have tomorrow. Be prepared to go through the pain. Exactly. What we're thinking.
That's getting shredded.
The thing is, you probably would let it be shredded.
Valid forever, that. Easy work.
Like it.
The final week, actually, I my training had tailed off, and I know that I ticked every box that I should have ticked. I was very, very disciplined in my training. Whatever I was told to do, I did.
I've never had a feeling before where I couldn't see myself finishing it and being stood at the finish line with a Guinness World Record, because that was so far from what I felt like someone I was, but I also could not see myself giving in at the same time. So I don't know, it was very weird, because normally you think, right, plan this after. It was almost like from the event, I can't picture what happens after that at all.
The bike and the run will be challenging at certain points. I think the bike at the back end, because my ass will be on fire. And then I think the run, because by then just sleep deprivation, and you've been going for so many hours, so it's a grind. So I'm under no illusion. I think it's going to be tough. I'm feeling good. I think I've done everything I possibly can do to do what I need to do, so bring it on.
Good mate, it's probably the most chilled I've been in the last week. I've been bizarrely, for me, been struggling to eat this week. Lots of toilet trips. Quite not worried but apprehensive, and then it's kind of I've packed, got up here, and now it's like the work's done. Just enjoying it now, innit?
I went to sleep and I slept really, really well. Didn't have it. I just slept through the night, woke up, and it was like I was just switched on. It was like, right, I'm ready to go.
So waking up on the morning of the event, it's quite funny. I've had that many nerves. Now it was time to put your game face on, and I think the main thing I was worried about was trying to stomach my overnight oats at 5 a.m. and praying for good weather, to be totally honest.
I was very focused, and it was purely on, I was taking each event as it came, so I didn't go too far looking at the future of the whole event to create overwhelm. I just thought, right, I've got to swim. Make sure I have some good food in me, prepare myself, get my carbs into me, ready for that swim, have all my kit, which was all prepared, and I just went in the zone.
This event doesn't start till 1 o'clock in the morning. So you know this swim part is just it's a formality.
Yeah.
You're just relaxing.
Right.
This bit here is just a formality. Just relax, do your swim, enjoy it. On that bike. Then it starts tomorrow.
Yeah, the night before was good. I literally went to bed and I think within 10 minutes I was asleep, which was good.
What's going through your mind right now?
Just staying relaxed. I've done everything I possibly can to prepare for it. So now it's just go with the flow, enjoy it at parts, and take each step as it comes.
Literally game face, just wanting everything to go smooth, stress free, no hassle, relaxed, and time to crack on basically.
I think I'll just probably focus on that moment and be pretty present and not look too far ahead, and I won't be going too far ahead in my mind. So just staying present at the moment.
Is there any final message you'd like to give before you go out and complete this event?
Yeah, just anybody out there, you know, push yourself, try things new and just see what you're capable of. And that's what this is about.
All I was thinking about was literally, I hope it's a nice temperature, I hope I don't need a shit in my wetsuit, basically. You know, I hate stopping events for needing the toilet. That's honestly all I was focusing on. And then when we got into the lake, it was an amazing temperature, it was an amazing morning.
The rules Gemma and Will had to follow were simple. They had to complete a 7.2 mile swim, a 186 mile cycle and a 46.8 mile run without stopping for more than 5 minutes. Now, I said it was simple, I didn't say it was easy. Every inch of the event had to be video recorded and time-stamped. A logbook had to be filled out by independent verifiers, and that had to match the video timestamps. They both wore GPS watches, of which the batteries were monitored constantly. We had multiple stopwatches, multiple cameras, and multiple verifiers, as this event was going to last over 30 hours. And if any area of the coverage was compromised, Guinness would not be able to deem the record as valid. That was the responsibility of the support team. So with that being said, the event started.
Nice and relaxed. Off you go.
Cheers.
Good luck,
Gemma. 7.2 miles has begun. Well.
Me and Gemma started at different times because I am rather a confident swimmer. You know, I'd have trained for another year on top of what Gemma had, and swimming went from my weakest segment of it to probably the strongest, to be honest. Very confident. It's quite a good pace at my relaxed pace. We worked it out, and I would, if me and Gemma started at the same time, I'd have been in there an hour longer than I needed. So we staggered it because we wanted to finish the swim at the same time.
There was a part of like, I'm in it, it's started now, there's no going back, let's just smash it. But I was very much just focused on the moment, where I was, and I didn't look too far ahead. I didn't then go, oh shit, there's 7.2 miles, I've only done 200 metres or any of that. I was just literally like, right, this is what I'm doing, and just focused on that. And I think that's what helped me quite a lot.
When we got into the lake, it was an amazing temperature, it was an amazing morning. But the swim loop we were meant to be doing was covered in reeds. So then the first few laps was, right, do I do the swim route we were meant to, but I'd be swimming through reeds?
I went through the reeds initially, and oh my god, they were wrapping around me, like arms, legs, everything, and I thought, I can't get through them, they're too high.
And I tried to go through them, they're just getting wrapped in my wrists. So I thought, right, okay, now I'm going to have to make up a loop and just keep going round the reeds basically. So Gemma was going all the way around the lake. I was doing shorter, sort of cutting it off a little bit.
Even though you could look and go, it was bigger, longer laps, so I was probably resting less and coming in, you know, less amount of times. It just worked for me, and I'd rather do that than be actually like fighting and getting things wrapped around my legs and stuff.
So yeah, it was quite frustrating at the start with the reeds.
You just totally go in your zone, like relax and just get in the rhythm. And the water was pretty clear, so you're kind of like looking at the little fishes and other little bits and just in the zone.
And Ellerton Lake, you know, it's crystal clear. It's an unbelievable place. So I was almost excited to swim in it because I only swam in it once in training. So it's amazing going from a murky lake to swimming in Ellerton. Because we can't stop for longer than 5 minutes at a time, it worked quite well because I think I was swimming for about 45 minutes and then I'd stop and I might have a banana or a squares bar or, you know, the electrolyte tablets, pop it in, off we go.
So if you need to slow down, just don't be afraid to say.
I said just shout, aye.
Yeah.
I've been tickling his feet.
What does that mean when you tickle my feet?
It means he's bored.
No.
Sorry.
It means sorry.
Bored.
We are taught to break it down in our heads, so don't look at we've got 200 miles left, 199 to go. Look at it as I've just got to do another 2 laps of this lake, have a banana, okay, another 2 laps, have a salt tab, another 2 laps. So as long as you break it down in your head as that, it always gave me something to look forward to. Because as my coaches and my family will tell you, I absolutely love the eating. I didn't stop eating on the whole event, so.
Okay, at the minute.
What's the distance?
Oh,
Shot 4K.
Jump.
2.4 mile, easy work.
Easy this time. Tell you what, flying.
Go.
once we're gonna be gone. It's very stodgy these, like. I can't eat and breathe.
What's up?
Bit claggy. I just said that. I said, what's he going to put in a mouth here? Glue.
You can't swallow it.
I know, bloody hell.
Bloody
Whose
hell.
is this doing that?
Your dad found it.
Found it on the floor walking in. Meant to be. Keep it going, just nice and steady as you are, yeah?
Yeah.
Don't,
Yeah, no, it's good.
don't increase it so you're feeling out of breath. Just
No,
nice
this
and
my breath
steady.
is like.
Got endurance.
Yeah.
My role was more to just keep things pulled together in terms of the team. So I knew what areas other people had. So yourself, for example, you had that experience going into the event of having all of the media, tracking all the data and things like that. I knew we had some really good people on the team that were taking care of the driving, making sure that there was plenty of fuel, water and stuff on the vehicle. So I was pretty confident with that. Still wanted a bit of an overview and make sure, have we got that? So that second set of eyes. We had some really good backup in terms of the coaches. So Lee Simpson on the swimming again, who helped me through mine. So I knew that Gemma would be fine there. We had Ian Lambert helping out, Lee Glazebrook on the swim. So we had some good guys there on the swim.
All right.
Yeah, I can't chew this.
You dab it with a bit of drink.
Can't chew it.
You need to
Just
get
go
some
along the
solid.
mouth. Not going down that.
I also know what pain they're about to go through, and I know that everything has to be bang on in the team. I know that the fueling, the hydration, the calories, the vehicles have to be right. Everyone in the support team has got to be absolutely bang on it. There was an element of, this might sound weird, there's an element of more pressure on myself, if anything, because I know what's about to happen and everything has to run right in order to see that through. Because it's all right me saying train hard, do the preparation, and you're capable of doing it, which is right, but that also comes with a hell of a lot of determination and pain while you're in that event.
I just glided in it, and even when I was doing the laps, it just went dead easy. So I didn't really find any struggle with that. It just seemed to just flow.
We wanted to finish the swim at the same time.
You what?
Caught up, yeah.
What you at?
3.8.
3.8 mile.
Yeah.
What you at?
4.8.
Nah.
4.85.
I don't think you're catching that.
That didn't work out on the day, so Gemma ended up getting on the bike half an hour, I think, before I did.
But I was coming at the end of the swim and I was trying to gauge where Will was because we were meant to come out together. So I was very conscious on my last lap, thinking, well, how far is Will? Is Will gonna come out at the same time as me? And then when I got to that point, I was like, I've only got 200 meters. And I was like, is Will nearly there? And they're like, no, he's not. I was then thinking, oh, well, how, why, what's gone on wrong?
The swim went by without a hitch for me. Don't get me wrong, knowing Gemma was on the bike before me when it was meant to be calculated to finish at the same time, it was a little bit humiliating, to be fair, because I started later because I was meant to be quicker.
I can't wait for him, I've just got to go. So as soon as I got out of the water, that was my biggest thing that I thought into quite a lot running up to the event about that transition, because I thought it's not just a simple transition. I'm having to change, get out of a wetsuit, soaking wet, in cycling tight gear and jump on a bike in 5 minutes. And I was thinking, like, that's gonna have to be so slick. So there was a lot of pressure around that moment.
Oh my God. Flip it. Flip it quickly, girls. You need to do it because I'm naked.
And then when I got out, I had all my stuff ready in the bag and I knew where it all was. And then when I got to the tent, it wasn't in the bag anymore. When I looked around, Stephen had tried to be really helpful and he tied all my clothing to the tent, so I was trying to rip the clothing off the tent.
No, she's like, just wear them jackets like you get on the road.
I know, the thing is...
Fuck around with that thing.
Next to the road.
Straight running.
He's got a camera already on him.
I mean, for safety on the motorway.
Nobody's rushing you. Take it, Gemma.
Compose
Just
yourself.
chill. That's it, just chill.
Remember, right now is the most riskiest time because you've just gone from horizontal to vertical. Compose yourself, ride out nice and gentle, however you feel. Settle into it, right?
Ready?
Don't let anybody rush you.
Come on.
Yeah, you just don't have the bike silent, but too close to me.
I know, we're gonna- You're not going to fall off, you go.
You want to take a lead for 10 minutes or? Right, let me get on down. Right, come on then. Happy place. Right, well, just take your time. You're panicking, come on, stop it. Right.
You clipped tonight, are you?
Gemma, chill out.
There you go.
Gemma. No, calm down. This is it, we're off! We're off!
You got this, Jim?
Oh, I hope nobody saw me, but flying around in a tent naked trying to grab your clothes off certain points wasn't my best moment.
No, we only have footage of the outside of the tent shaking them out and hearing you shouting, Steven! Yeah.
And then as soon as the swim was finished, it was into the transition.
Cheers. Done well, lad.
Good mate as well.
What crack? Do you reckon I'll catch up with you in 4 hours?
You're here, mate, you're here.
Not catching up with anybody. Your own game, yeah?
Again, great support. I had a little tent popped up.
Shout us when you want the zips up, Will.
Cheers, mate, we'll do.
Stripped everything off, straight into the bike gear. Everyone was amazing supporting me with just getting straight on the bike.
How far ahead are they?
About half an hour.
Perfect. Thank you. Yeah.
Is that one?
Next stop, what do you want?
Need salt tabs.
Salt tabs, alright.
But each watch, where's... Start each watch. Started, right, let's go. Let's do it. Cheers, lads. Yeah, mate, sound just need to get my knacker out of me. You know what it... Yeah.
And then we were off. It was, you know, a fault-free swim, fault-free transition. other than it's now time to catch Gemma up, basically.
I wanted to do the event with Will. So I set off. I knew Will. It's quicker on the bike. I tried to pace it so that we could come together at a certain point.
Nice and excited to be out of the water because my hands were like prunes. First thing I was thinking, right, what is there to eat? I started refueling myself. Obviously 5.5 hours in the lake, it does take it out of you.
The cycle route was a 9-mile loop around Redcar, but getting to the loop from Ellerton was a challenge in itself.
The cycle from Ellerton Lake over to Redcar is quite a nice drive or cycle for the first half. Quiet, country roads, brilliant. But we then had to go on the dual carriageway.
I had a big fear running up to it because I hadn't gone on it. Well, when do you go on a major motorway? And I hadn't done that, and all the routes I'd tested before was going around the small roads and out the way, going from Ellerton to Redcar. So I was really conscious of like, we've got to join this motorway. We need to do it carefully. We had obviously the van with us and the bike with us and other people, but it wasn't just the safety of myself, it was the other people and making sure that everything was, managed correctly. You're going along nice road and then it's like, right, let's get on this motorway and just hope we don't die.
So cycling on a very busy dual carriageway was one of the scariest things that I've done, to be honest. We had lorries going past us at 60 miles an hour with the horns on, and I think I was averaging about 20 miles an hour on the bike, and we were just thinking, let's get off of this road as soon as we can. As soon as we got to Redcar and we got on the loop that I knew well, it was a great feeling to get there. And then that's when we started seeing the other team as well on their loop, and that was good motivation to start pushing on and catch them up.
Will and Gemma both made it to the Redcar loop safely, and now Will is fighting to catch up to Gemma. But within the support team, things weren't going smoothly.
I actually had a blow up with Coach Carter on the event where we've both worked together in the military. Ronnie took over my job. I've got a lot of respect for Ronnie and his ability to write the training programme and get us prepared and see through the event, second to none. Because there was things changed by people in the team on the event, and to be fair, Ronnie agreed with me on this as well. Gemma kind of went off on a tangent, took a different route. You just can't afford to do something like that. So I was not my normal calm self on the event, and I blew up.
Yeah, well, he's just phoned me and said he's told Sam that the route you do is the one he did last year.
Well, why has he told Sam? Does he know about something that Guinness done? Because Sam's been in contact with Guinness. Or is it just Stephen saying that's
No, but he said, Sam's told him that Guinness said you can do whatever route you want, it's only the distance.
Yeah, so that's the route I wanted to do. I didn't see the point of going over the bridge and around there.
Not past Majuba.
There's nobody there. Just straight down, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah. So it's you that said you want this route, not...
Yeah, and
right.
Sam said it was okay. So Stephen kept saying that route and I was like, I don't see the point in that route.
Alright, I'll tell Stephen, because he's rang me up raging. I was like, I've had nothing to do with it.
Both Ronnie and Damo are fucking about to fuck off.
Why, what's the route?
Because we've got a route planned, we've all had conference calls on it, and you're changing it.
No, it was always that.
It wasn't, Gemma.
I don't need this, Steve.
Use the route we did last year.
I really don't need this, mate.
The Juba, exactly what we did last year.
Right, let's go. Okay, no problem.
Well, let's go.
Sorry, come on, Gemma.
Gemma, listen to me now. I don't know what this is. Tell me now, how many, between all of you, how many calories has she had in shower? Tell me just one. Not enough. How many?
Not enough.
I don't know. Dad, she's not eating enough food. She's not coming past. I can't
track anything when she's changing it. Will's mum's crying because Will is by himself. He's got one rider and you've got 10.
Yeah, I'm going. I'm going.
It's mental, Dad. Absolutely. What's happening here is ridiculous. Stick to the fucking plan.
I was like, what's going on? This is the route. And everyone was like, he was like, no, it's not the route. And I was like, well, I'm doing that route. And he was like, you're not doing that route. And I was just kind of going with the flow, like, it's all right. Like, but I understood Stephen's point of view. It was like, no, if you miss that point, you ain't going to get your fueling and you ain't going to get your food and you ain't going to get all these things you need. So he was getting heightened and I was just pretty chill.
Me and Ronnie had quite a heated argument where many people who were around would have seen that. The thing with me and Ronnie is we both have respect for each other. We both know that we want the same outcome. We both know what each other are capable of. So there's a mutual respect there. And there was just a misunderstanding of what was meant to happen. And I guess just because emotions are high, you're tired, that sometimes comes out that way.
When we were finally catching Gemma up, and we were counting this down over about 5 or 6 hours, I think, because we knew if we were catching them up on the loop, we were always passing them a little bit further, and we were probably pushing on a little bit quicker than we should, to be honest, where the coaches might have been getting a little bit frustrated, that I might have been burning myself out, but I really wanted to catch them.
Should be on them now. 8 minutes.
So every lap we knew we were getting a little bit closer. And then I think it was late at night we finally caught them, which was brilliant, because if we were cycling through the night, you want to be together.
It was great. That's what we wanted to do, the whole thing together. So when I saw him coming and I knew we only had to catch up a small amount, and I kind of like, you know, pedaling, just holding back a little bit, you know, for him to join. And when he got there and he was like, yes, you know, that relief in him, I made it, I'm there. Yeah, it was great, because then it was like, right, let's do it now. We're both on the same track now. Let's go.
Catching up, just buzzing, elated, happy, relieved, and then even just having fresh conversation about how we're going, how it's been. So yeah, really good.
All good, yeah. I'm Will.
I'm Paul, pleased to meet you.
Paul, I've heard lots about you.
All bad things.
Yeah.
What I'm saying to Will and what I'm saying to Gemma is you want to start chatting to each other now, because Gemma underfuels and Will just never stops fueling. So chat to each other so that you're like, if you're going to eat something, let each other know so you can encourage good behaviour.
I had some really good people supporting and around me, and the conversations that were going on, and I think the support we had on the day was amazing. The support I had at the swim, and you know, that I got there, and then on the bike as well, and when we all came together, the whole group came together, so there was no boredom. There was lots of conversations happening, people, you know, having a good laugh as well, so it was quite a good mood in the team.
Yeah. Try gravel that. No, see the one, that one.
I absolutely love the fueling. I love eating, so this is a time when I can eat what I want without having to worry about the calories. You know, every half hour I was looking at getting on the calories. So I was absolutely loving watermelon with a lime on. We had Domino's pizza left over from the night before. I think I finished another Domino's pizza. Anything, my mum's flapjack, my mum's banana bread, beautiful. Anything I could get my hands on, I was eating, and Ronnie and Damo, the coaches, were saying, I think you are going to be the first person ever to complete an endurance event and you actually finish it heavier than when you started.
Alright, pizza that, wasn't it? Yeah. For a tomato.
It was getting to the end, it was like the transition. So I was very aware, because that was just sticking points. It's like if you were over the 5 minutes, you're done. So it was very much like the transitions for me between the events was where a lot of my energy went. So I'd be thinking, right, when I get off, I'm going to leave my bike there, and I need to have that, and I need to do this, and I had it all planned in my mind exactly. So I'd be rehearsing that in my mind, thinking through, so I could be as smooth as I could.
How the tiredness showed up is I actually felt hungover. So it wasn't a case of, right, I need a sleep, and everyone handles it differently. I think Gemma was feeling tired. I felt hungover. I didn't think I need a sleep. I felt like, Jesus, I've had 100 pints last night. So we're coming to the end of the bike.
Transition there, and then you stay on this loop one.
It was a very good feeling. My backside was pretty relieved that we're coming to it. My lower back was relieved that we're coming to the end. You start to change your thoughts of, brilliant, we've finished the bike, 15, 16 hours on the saddle, to, oh shit, we've got nearly a double marathon to do.
I'll just stop it, yeah? I can't get to that one.
Biscuit shower.
Should I shut them blinds?
Longest ride, Demo. Set your record.
Don't have a delete it.
Yeah.
Do you know where my transition gear is?
What?
My transition gear? No.
Oh, it's in the van, I think.
I clicked save, but I didn't click done. And it's not there.
It's there.
It's there, it's got it.
It's in.
Right, that's
You're in. Which bottle do you want me to check for you?
It's not
Would you fill it with water?
That's okay.
That's alright. Right.
Should I just start jogging? Is it ready?
Really, you ready? Really, you ready? Yeah, everyone's ready.
I haven't saved that. I don't think I need it, do I?
Check, good luck. Smash it.
Where's Will?
He's just over there.
My legs.
All good.
All right, yeah, all good.
We had someone supporting us, Martin Stapleton, known as Stapes, MMA guy, former Special Forces, absolute legend of a bloke. And he was asking me early in the week, saying, look, I'll come and support you. When do you want me? And I said, well, look, if I can choose, everyone's going to be doing through the days. We've always got people with us. Not many people are going to be doing the graveyard shift through the night. And he just said, done. And I remember him arriving to the back end of the bike, and he literally got his sleeping bag out and went to sleep on the grass in the open. And he said, let me know when you need me. And I just remember saying, Stapes, you ready? And he just unzipped the bag, got up, and he's ready to run. What a guy. And it's that support and the banter that he gave throughout that is just, that's what makes the events.
5-1, all I'm done really. Is it? Yeah. What are you fancying, Will?
Bar. Squares bar. Oh, it goes down the tree.
That's alright.
The whole time I never ever suffered from switching from any of the events. When in the run, and I felt very, very light on my feet and free, and I had to really take down my pace because I just wanted to really go. So I had to be really aware of that.
I'm waiting for this wall because I feel feel surprisingly good. Hips are getting tight, feeling a bit sick, but I'm like, I feel scarily good. But it scares me that we've still got 40 miles to go. So.
They were both fine on the swim. They were pretty consistent, both of them, throughout most of the bike. I knew that they would start to feel it on the run, which they did.
So I didn't get tiredness, but I did get little niggles. So one of my niggles was in my knee, and it kind of slowed me down within like part of the event. Will was having pain going slower, and he needed to go faster. So we kind of he was trying to work with me.
There was a point where Gemma was dropping behind, and Will was actually slowing down for her. I'd actually spoke to the coaches and said Will probably just needs to do his own thing and leave her now. We had that conversation with Gemma, and because of the character that she is, I think that give sort of her a bit of extra motivation of there's fucking no way am I letting him run off.
I remember Stephen saying, right, Will, if that's the case, you need to just go. Like, don't try and stay at the pace that Gemma's staying at now, you go. And I remember thinking, and he said, Will just need to leave, and I thought, he ain't like, that's not happening. So that kind of gave me, I had the pain, and I just kind of thought, nah, if it's a niggle, whatever it is, I'll deal with it after. And I just then went through the pain barrier and just continued and lifted the pace.
Go on.
Oh.
I've got cream in there. Liking that, aren't you? Fucking morale, that, lads.
And what I like is a toothbrush and toothpaste.
I can get you that.
Yeah, there's no point starting new habits today, Gemma.
Behave yourself.
I remember the sun on my face, and it was just so hot, and then thinking it's not even up properly yet, and it was a warm day. It had been warm during the night. Right, I need to make sure I keep well hydrated here, and caps on, and try and not burn. And yeah, so the sun actually didn't bring what most people might think it did.
Even to mile 30, after we'd hit the marathon point, I was still feeling good, and I thought, this can't be like this. I'm waiting to feel horrendous. Don't get me wrong, feet were hurting, blisters. I'm used to running through that from the training. Again, feeling hungover, it's fine, I was cracking on with that. And I did feel scarily good.
Let's just put it to bed now, let's just get it done.
I knew that we needed to do a certain amount of loops, and I thought it was going to work out at slightly less. So then it was, oh no, I do need to do this amount of loops a little bit more. I did the loop, and I knew I was getting near the end, and that was the point where the emotions absolutely came out, maybe less than a mile from where everyone was based at our setup, also the finish point. I knew people were coming from all over to see the finish, and only at that point, maybe only a mile from the finish, I knew I've done it. And that is where the emotion, I honestly couldn't stop it. I had a cry, and I thought, I didn't mind letting the emotions out. So I thought, right, have a cry and I'll feel good. And then I could not stop crying to the point where everyone was laughing at me. And it was Ronnie, head coach, someone that I respect massively. He went, mate, it's a testament to your character, just letting it out pour. Then I was coming around the corner to the finish, and they said, oh no, you're not done yet. We need to run all the way down the seafront to the end of the seafront. And I was like...
They said to me, oh, it's only 2 miles, we're only going to go to this point. And then we went past the point, and then we kept running more and more. And I remember thinking, and me and Will were then like kind of going, oh, what's going on? And we ended up going practically half the way to Mask.
And it's like my body shut off at that point. The pain in the bridges of my feet was excruciating. It felt like I had broken feet, a broken ankle, I feel like my body knew I was finished, so my body had finished.
That's when you just don't feel anything, you know, you're kind of like, right, it's done. Let's just cross that line.
Come on, boy. We're almost here, guys. We're almost here. 7.2 miles swim, 186 mile bike ride. Oh. Here they come, guys. Gemma will have a foot there. Keep it going. Keep it going. Oh no! Pull it, Gemma!
The proudest moment ever.
Yeah.
I mean, we were just.
Up there with when they were all born.
It was just. I mean, I could fill up now. Just so proud of him, the work that he'd put in, and Gemma as well, and obviously getting Steve's support.
I was just really proud of them both because I knew what they'd had to go through to do that. Just that admiration for anyone who can do that. Fair play to you. You've put the work in. You've shown up.
But it was just absolutely amazing.
And relieving that it was all over.
Yeah.
I was proud that we'd done it, and I was happy that we'd both got through it together, because I thought that could have been a difficult thing, having two people doing it as well, and a whole team of having to manage two people. So I was really, really happy about it and proud that we'd achieved that.
I wish I celebrated it more, because I remember just running down, holding hands with Gemma, hand in the air. I wish I milked it a bit more, because I honestly feel like life had peaked at that point, and it's going to be really hard to get that emotion back. My dad's quite tough to make proud. Seeing him emotional, I don't think I've ever seen him cry. He was crying. My mum was crying, although that's not tricky. My partner doesn't cry. She was blubbering. Her sister was blubbering. The team, it was amazing. Just to share it with everyone, yeah, it's just brilliant to have that experience, to be fair. Something we'll remember, you know, top event, if not the top event of a lifetime.
Do you believe that anybody could do what you did?
Yeah, totally.
I believe that anyone could do what me, Gemma, Steve and Ian have done.
If I can do that, and I've never done a triathlon in my life, never done any brick training, had to learn how to swim front crawl, couldn't do 18 metres in a pool with my face in it, had massive anxiety about being clipped in to a bike, and constantly during my training kept falling off my bike because I kept forgetting which foot to unclip. If I can do that, then anyone can.
People just think, oh, those guys are crazy. I thought that about Steve when he announced it, and then suddenly I'm being sucked into it, realising the body is an absolutely an amazing thing, and you do not realise what it could do. I feel like my mum and dad have got a bit of that. My dad's knees have been knackered. He's in his 60s. He's running 5Ks now. He's done a half marathon. It is ridiculous when you change your level of belief, and when your body keeps feeding back of, yeah, I'm enjoying this, this is good, I can do more, I recover, I build, I get stronger, I get fitter. You start to think, shit, what we are doing with our body is the ultimate of untapped into its potential.
So I'd like to say thank you to everybody that supported. It was a whole team effort, and what was amazing, there was people there doing things for themselves as well. I had never rode that far before, never ran that far before, and they all, you know, dug in and supported and did those things. So I was really grateful for that support that kept the morale high, kept us going, kept us fueled.
I'll finish on my thanks, because I've thanked everyone in person. I was meant to put a lovely post on, which didn't happen. I do regret not doing so. Obviously, massive thank you to Steve and Gemma. Not because of them getting me a Guinness World Record, because they took a 19-year-old that didn't feel failed in himself, but knew he was capable of more and didn't know how to tap into it. They tapped into it. They believed in me more than anyone else could, more than me, more than my family, more than my partner. Something I'll have the rest of my life, not the world record, the belief in myself. I want to thank Joe Dowsett for grizzing with me on the bike when I didn't have too much support at that time. He was there crucial. I want to thank the intricate team. Those three were absolutely tremendous in planning it, but then I also had support on the bike. The support on the run with them was impeccable as well. Stapes, 50 Cal, Matty Ramsden, Sam behind the planning of it, Ethan, the full PIA team, discipline team, everyone in the PIA, clients-wise, that came and supported. Yeah, it made a magical day even more magical with a cherry on top, and I'll remember it for the rest of my life. So thank you guys. I don't think anyone realises the part they played.
I believe that if anybody ever wants to challenge themselves, anything's possible. As long as you put your mind to it, you're prepared to be disciplined, you're prepared to be consistent, you're prepared to grind, go through the pain when it's there, and you believe in yourself, then anything's possible.